Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. I hope y'all celebrated love. It's all we need. Although a few other things couldn't hurt. Now the summer, I hate to say it's almost over. Labor Day's fast approaching, and with it the school season begins. And that often means life gets back on track. Decisions get made. The world gets into gear again. The days are noticeably shorter. Although not as short as they're going to be. The temperature's still nice. In fact, spring and autumn are my favorite times of the year. And both of them usher in the major holidays in the Jewish calendar. We're just a month from the 10 days of awe, defined by Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The days designed to examine the mirror of self. We'll hold off that mirror for now and enjoy the last few weeks of summer, the last few weeks that tend to be full of adventure for people. And even though we have a few weeks of wild abandon left, we still, every week, make an effort and devote some time to the unification of sacred time and sacred space and getting together to be compassionate, sharing, and caring. It's in the nature of man. So let's gather and welcome everybody we know as a community of like-minded, like-souled individuals in search of unification of spirit, the collective consciousness of seekers in a showing of faith, of love, community, a chabura, fellowship. Expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Kaya. Hine Matov. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community, community, community. Together. And as a community, my friends, let's all come together and spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is just sending some of the goodwill that we all generate, and we all do generate it, out to the universe where it will do the most good. You know, and that sacred time and space was designed to be the Sabbath, when we cease our day-to-day activities, spend time with family, with friends, with the loved ones of our lives. We have that brief chance to both praise and imitate God, creation, life itself, whatever you want to. Come, Esther, coming up. And this, of course, is our time to also take a few minutes to invoke healing and renewal for everyone everywhere, for everybody you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you know. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It's for the healing of the earth. The tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Friends, our perception of the world is a work of progress, which is why we are obligated to fix it by fixing ourselves. That's the real meaning behind Tikkun Olam. So let's take this moment to send some renewal, some healing for Ben, for Nikki, Karen, for Bob, Alana, Michael, for the dear sweet bee. And of course, my friends, renewal for all of you, because you need renewal too. It is the kindness, healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out that circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit. And spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabbat, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu, may the source of strength bless the words before us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, the renewal of the body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed, my friends. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Misha Barak, may He who blessed, because healing is a blessing. So let's all heal as we pray for renewal, show gratitude for the wonders that exist in our lives. Now this week we read ekev, in consequence of. Now that's a mouthful. Now it also means on the heels of, and is named for Yaakov, born on the heels of his brother. But there is another simpler term for in consequence of, and that is because. Now that's an answer we use more than almost any other, and we learn it as a word that needs completion. Every because statement is a part of a completion. Every event completes another event. How do I know? Because. And how apropos that we read because as we get ready for the 50th anniversary of Abbey Road. Because the world is round, it turns me on. Because the world is round. Because the wind is high, it blows my mind. Because the wind is high. Love is old, love is new. Love is all, love is you. And love is all, it truly is. Just think about it, my friends. You don't need a lot more than love. Because if you have love, you can have so many other things. But you see, because it's one of those words that's not good on its own, it needs a completion, but too often is used all by itself. How often do you simply answer? Because. How often did you tell your kids? Because. When you should say, because of A, B, C. Give reasons for because. Now, as we read it here, we get a hint of this bipolar world that we've settled into. Deuteronomy 7:12. And it will be because you'll listen to these judgments and observe and do them that the Lord your God will keep the covenant. Kindness for you that he swore to your fathers, and he will love you and bless you. If we keep the laws, great things will happen. And we get a list of these great things. And as we see later, it's again a choice between blessings and curses. Keep the laws, do not keep them. It's black or white, good or bad, blessings, curses. Now, before we get to that, we're still in the Moses telling history phase of his speech. And Moses now tells the people the story of why there's two sets of tablets that he was given. When I went up to the mountain to take the stone tablets, the tablets of the covenant that the Lord sealed with you. And I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. No bread did I eat, nor water did I drink. There you go. You see, man does not live by bread alone. The glory of God was enough to keep Moses alive, not just once, but twice. And the Lord gave me the two stone tablets written with the finger of God, and on them all the words that the Lord spoke with you from the midst of the fire on the day of the assembly. And it happened at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord gave me the two stone tablets, the tablets of the covenant. The Lord said to me, arise, go down quickly from here, for your people that you brought out of Egypt has acted ruinously. They have quickly swerved from the way that I charged them. They have made them a molten image. And the Lord said to me, saying, I've seen this people, and look, it's a stiff-necked people. Leave me be that I may destroy them and wipe out their name from under the heavens and make you into a greater and mightier nation than they. And I turned and I came down from the mountains, the mountain burning in fire and the two tablets of the covenant in my two hands. And I saw, and look, you offended against the Lord your God and made you a molten calf. You swerved quickly from the way that the Lord charged you, and I seized the two tablets and flung them from my hands and smashed them before your eyes. And I threw myself before the Lord, as at first, 40 days and 40 nights. No bread did I eat, nor water did I drink, for all your offense which you committed, as you had offended, to do what was evil in the eyes of the Lord, to anger him. For I was terrified at the blazing wrath with which the Lord was furious enough with you to destroy you. And the Lord listened to me that time as well. And the Lord was greatly enough incensed with Aaron to destroy him. And I interceded on behalf of Aaron too at that time. And your offense that you made, the calf, I taken, I burned it in the fire and crushed it, grinding it well till it was fine into dust, and I had flung its dust into the wadi that came down from the mountain. Now, this retelling of the story of the golden calf presupposes the audience's familiarity with the much more elaborate account that we read about in Exodus 32. But this one, it's not a full report. It's Moses' first-person account, reflecting what he's told by God on the mountain and then what he sees when he descends from the summit, while not directly conveying information that he learns only afterwards. Now, it's also an incredibly interesting parallel story. The parallels between Aaron's golden calf and those of King Jeroboam the first, who ruled in the 10th century before the Common Era, are unmistakable. Jeroboam erects golden calves at Dan and at Bethel, and we read about them in 1 Kings 12:26. On that occasion, he says, "Here are your gods, Israel, which brought you out from the land of Egypt." Now, those are the same words that the people say at the golden calf episode in Exodus. Now, even freakier, Jeroboam's sons are Nadab and Abiah, while Aaron's sons, who we read about, are Nadab and Abihu. And King Josiah, who ruled in the 7th century before the Common Era, and who this audience is incredibly familiar with, destroys the high place where Jeroboam's golden calf stood at Bethel, and like Moses, burned it with the dust. And we're told about that in 2 Kings. And like Moses, Josiah cast the dust of pagan altars into a wadi. So in terms of the full Tanakh, as it now stands, the parallel would suggest that history repeats itself. Now, there's also one of the many parallels between Josiah and Moses that served to single out Josiah as the best of the kings of Israel, although I bet you none of you had even heard about him. The one who comes closest to the standards that Moses taught by commandment and by example. And how do we know that? Because when the Torah says at the end of Moses' life, and a prophet did not rise again in Israel like Moses, the Tanakh says at the end of Josiah's life, and after him one did not rise like him. These being the only 2 occurrences of the expression "did not rise like him" in the Bible. And when there's only 2 common occurrences, they're connected. Now again, the embroidery of connections throughout the Tanakh is apparent. And we learn why the people have journeyed for 40 years. Moses tells us, Deuteronomy 8:2, "And you shall remember all the way that the Lord your God had you go these 40 years in the wilderness in order to degrade you, to test you, to know what was in your heart." It's a full catalog of history there. Degrade, what the Egyptians did and what we do to ourselves for Yom Kippur. Test. What was done with Abraham, especially the Akedah, and to know what God said on numerous occasions about knowing what is in the heart of man. I want to live, I want to give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never get. Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. And Moses is old. He began this adventure at 80 years old, and here it is, 40 years later. As you read this book, you see it is different. It retells events, but always slightly differently. We heard, but we did not see at Sinai. The 10 words of differences, the cosmic events of creation and the Exodus are not even mentioned. The artisans of Exodus are not involved. The treatment and death of Aaron are different. All familiar events are just off a little. Why? Well, Some have suggested it's because it is Moses' first-person recollection. Some others have suggested that this is actually an example of the book of law to be written by the king, which we read about in Leviticus, that each king was supposed to write the book of the law. I don't know, but I do know it is different in style. It's far more poetic. Its content is different. Its impact is different. Its emphasis on circumcision of the foreskin of your heart is different. This concept occurs in only two books in the Bible, Leviticus and Deuteronomy. The sign of the Abrahamic covenant, and probably the most commonly observed of the commandments by Jewish families for centuries, is circumcision. But the Torah commands the circumcision of one's heart as well. It establishes that outward fulfillment of practices without also feeling it in one's heart is simply insufficient. The concept of circumcising one's heart, moreover, unlike physical circumcision, applies to both women and men and puts an emphasis on compassion, humanity, equivalence. It points us to the heart, and the heart, my friends, is love. I never thought that I could be so satisfied every time that I look in your angel eyes. Shock inside me that words just can't describe, and there's no explaining. There's something in the way you move I can't deny. Every word from your lips is a lullaby. A twist of fate makes life worthwhile. You are gold and silver. I said I wasn't gonna lose my head, but then pop goes my heart. I wasn't gonna fall in love again, but then pop goes my heart. And I just can't let you go. Can't lose the feeling. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. Express your thoughts, express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light in all who live in the light and continue to shine. And continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace, for freedom, for everyone. An end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to everybody who needs it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself, maybe especially yourself. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have a great week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intention and use them to imprint your will on the universe. Remember, we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged, and ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability, with vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you can, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Remember to have faith, my friends, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love, and all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power, my friends, lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. and continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you know, everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous, bless others, and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, my friends. We learn together, we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have a special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. You're being watched out for, so always be kind. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Do not get caught in fear. Forgiveness comes from acceptance, and that brings peace. And peace, my friends, can last forever. So enjoy the week. Continue to imprint your will upon the universe and continue to enjoy love and freedom. And remember, friends, pay attention to your words. They have a profound effect. Be there to help others. Put a little love in your heart. Think of your fellow. Lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Well, wait and see, my friends. Put a little love in your hearts. Shabbat shalom. Have a great week. Celebrate love and blessings to you all. You take care. Thanks. Bye.